Ministry of Defense to spend 1.1 billion naira on the rehabilitation of military barracks. Good evening and welcome to News Round on Impact Africa Television, IATV. I am Bolabo, Famous School. President Muhammadu Buhari and all the leaders of the All Progressives Congress will be meeting on Sunday, the 9th of January, to decide a definite date for the conduct of the party's national convention. The parties, however, expressing hope that the initial date in February will still be feasible. It will be noted that the party has recently come under pressure from the president to clean up his act to lose power to the main opposition party. Speaking with newsmen after meeting with the president, the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, Simon Lalong, said the meeting on Sunday will center on the proposed date for the convention. He also added that the meeting on Sunday will either make or mar the party. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has warned that if the leadership of the All Progressives Congress fails to get its act together in time, the People's Democratic Party will take over. Speaking on the party's national convention earlier stated for February 2022, the president said the party must work within the time frame available, determine a substantive leadership in Charters Court ahead of the 2023 elections. Otherwise, it risks being displaced by the opposition. The People's Democratic Party leaders in the Southeast Zone has endorsed the presidential ambition of the former Senate President, Ayim Pius Ayim. The endorsement was made in Enugu today during a consultative session hosted by Ayim. Political leaders from Abia State, Anambra State, Ebonyi, Enugu State, and Imo State who attended the event say they endorsed Ayim because of his track record of success when he served as the Senate President and Secretary to the government of the Federation. They made their position known in a 10-point resolution issued at the end of the meeting. The Ministry of Defense says it is to spend the sum of 1.52 billion naira in security operations for the parastatals under it. The military has said it will spend 4.21 billion naira for capital expenditure and 71 million naira for welfare package of staff in the year 2022. The sum of 1.50 billion naira has also been earmarked for repairs and rehabilitation of dilapidated house and infrastructure and military barracks being directly supervised by the Ministry of Defense. A breakdown of the ministry's budget and the federal government budget signed into law by President Muhammadu Buhari shows that the rehabilitation of military barracks in the northeast of the country will gulp the sum of 200 million naira. The rehabilitation of military barracks in the northwest of the country will also take 194 million naira, while 200 million naira will be spent on the rehabilitation of military barracks in the North Central Zone. Stakeholders have called for accountability, integrity, and support in the fight against corruption in Nigeria. They made this known while extreme President Buhari's anti-graft war. Ayodele Fakeye completes the report.
The presence of corruption in any nation of the world goes a long way to increase the cost of production, the cost of governance, and increases unreported income from the production of legal goods and services for which taxes should be paid but are not. Though the indices for corruption can be measured objectively by counting the number of criminal indictments for corruption, however, this can be ineffective due to the fact that the ratio of indictments to actual corruption may be highly variable, especially in a country like Nigeria. Recently, President Muhammadu Buhari said no person accused of corruption can go scot-free even if they join his party, the All Progressives Congress, as the party insists on accountability and integrity.
I wouldn't like to accept that joining our party will check our insistence on accountability. But the problem is that we have to work within the system. Even if you suspect individuals unless there is evidence, there isn't much you can do. So really, it's the system that makes it possible for some people really to even be corrupt.
Reacting, the Oyo State People's Democratic Party spokesman, Akim Olatunji, while assessing President Buhari's fight against corruption, said the administration lacks integrity and accountability.
This is a government of mediocres, as far as we are concerned. And it is even corruption that has not even made APC to be able to organize their national convention up to now. Because if they have done it according to their own constitution, by now they're supposed to have a national leadership. Up to now, nothing.
He stressed that in this present administration, there is no evidence of the fight against corruption. Other than that, the war against corruption ought to start from the president's administration.
There is no serious fight against corruption under President Muhammadu Buhari, because we've had occasions whereby people are accused of corruption and nothing was ever done. And we know of that of the former secretary to the government, Babashir Lawal. The issue of Niger Delta, NDDC, is there. When it comes to corruption, corruption is sitting at us work. And until they chase that evil away, I believe that Nigeria will continue to suffer.
Also speaking, an All Progressives Congress Party's spokesman in Oyo State, Omola Jalaoye, reiterated the party's and President Buhari's commitment to the fight against corruption while applauding the president.
President Muhammadu Buhari has that nickname of Mr. Integrity, and for the fact that he has been doing well when it's come down, or when it's come to that all his life, I believe everybody that's surrounding must know what he believes is cause, and the fact that he has spoken that there is not going to be any respite for anybody that is so corrupt in Nigeria, and we have seen in his administration a lot of people have been convicted.
He nevertheless said there is a need for the change in the attitude of the judiciary for the president's fight against corruption to be evident everywhere.
What are our judiciary doing? Because they themselves are involved in these corruption cases we are talking about. A lot of them has been indicted, and President Muhammadu Buhari cannot do it all. He cannot just say somebody must be arrested. He's not the one that is going to convict them.
It is therefore important to redouble efforts in curtailing corruption in the society. Ayodele Fakeye, IATV News.
The senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, said that President Muhammadu Buhari was persuaded and pressured by Nigerians to run for president. He made a statement while reacting to some comments delivered by the president on his plans for the 2023 presidential election. Buhari, heard in an interview this week, said he has given his best to Nigeria. This is said he is looking forward to when he will be less busy after leaving office in 2023. The Tiv Youth Council Worldwide has warned the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom, to focus on redeeming his name and improving the lot of workers in the state instead of making headlines using the name of President Muhammadu. The president of the group, Mike Musiwan, gave the council in a press release made available to journalists while reacting to Ortom's response to President Muhammadu Buhari's statement during an interview. It will be recalled that Governor Ortom had scolded President Buhari after the federal government struck the bandits as a terrorist group, saying it should also name Miyetti Allah, Makban, and the Fulani Nationality Movement as terrorist organizations. A civil society group, the Benue Coalition for Democracy, BCD, has said that the federal government's recent declaration of bandits as terrorists has vindicated Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State for his forthrightness and persistence on the matter. In a statement issued today in Makurdi, the group said that the federal government should back the pronouncement with action. The president of the group, Tenege Bendega, said that the Benue State governor deserves full credit for the eventual declaration by President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. Education, being the process of giving and receiving systematic instruction, is also known as the bedrock of development. Following the secession, Olanrewaju Taiwo takes a look at the state of education in Nigeria and possible solutions to its myriad of challenges.
Education, being the process of receiving or giving systematic instruction, is known as the bedrock of development. However, education in Nigeria today is bisected with myriads of challenges such as poor funding, lack of infrastructures and teaching aids, paucity of qualified teachers, and poor learning environment. In addition to these inadequacies, school systems across the country are plagued with numerous social vices such as examination malpractices, cultism, oligarchism, bullying, and corruption, among others. Speaking on the state of the education sector in Nigeria, a professor at the Department of Social Work, University of Ibadan, James Ayonguna, said tertiary education cannot be isolated when talking about education in the country. He decried the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the incessant strike embarked upon by the members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities on the education system.
We had COVID-19, we had several cases of it, and sometimes we closed down. The university was shut down for some time. Talking about maybe ASU strike and all that, nobody wants to strike. I also have children in the university, in public universities. My own children are just like other colleagues. We don't want strike. You sign an agreement and the agreement is not complied with. Yes, we are not expecting 100% compliance, but carry us along.
Ayoguna, who said the education system is on the brink of collapse, advised the federal government to bring back the good old days and restructure the sector.
They should try and think of bringing back the good old days when they themselves were students. Let's come together, look at things. I know yesterday is different from today. And of course, today will be different from tomorrow. But let us come together and fashion a way forward.
Also speaking, a senior lecturer at the University of Ibadan, Dr. Feyintola Duroshola, categorized the nation's education system into primary, secondary, and tertiary. He also advised the federal and state governments to find solutions to the challenges bedevil the sector.
The Nigerian system of education is so many, to the extent that the problem of one is not the same thing with the problem of the others. Because if you want to look at it holistically, it seems as if we have a lot of problem, and the problem, it ranges from issue of the management as regard to the infrastructures which we're supposed to use in the different educational system. Because I have people that works in the primary school, the kind of problems they are facing there is quite different from the one they are facing in the secondary school, and the one they are facing in secondary school is quite different from the one we are facing in the university system.
Duroshola added that for a meaningful development to be recorded in the sector, there must be proper monitoring of funds dispersed to the education sector, adding that the mismanagement of funds is another challenge facing the education system.
Way out is that the university or the education should be properly funded. It should be properly funded. If they are thinking that there's some people that's going to serve funding the money to another thing entirely, they should monitor it themselves. Let the school spell out what they want, and then the government, herself can do that. They can do it. Look for the contractors to provide all those amenities so that
board members that they came on board as a result of the reforms put forth by the Petroleum Industry Act PIA 2021, which seeks to reposition the Nigerian petroleum industry to a commercially viable and competitive industry aligned with global business dynamics and best practices. Following the reduction in the prices of cooking gas by the federal government, our correspondent Raimat Lawal looked to the streets to sample people's reaction. Let's hear their views.
4 days ago, and I bought it 750 naira. I bought it at the rate of 750 naira. Packaging? Yes, packaging. They should please help us because the money is too much. So they should please help us to reduce it. Even let's say 300 naira is okay. Because at least before we are buying 200 naira, but now it's too much, 750 naira. So 300 naira. they should please help us to reduce it at the rate of 300 naira.
The price is okay, but when I see the price also, they say they will do it, they will still reduce it to 7,000 plus 7,008. I still hear that, but it's okay like that. But if God can help them to reduce it low price, we will thank them for that. Actually, I want to say the rate of gas nowadays is very, very bad. Like it's just going up and up and up every day. If they said it has been reduced, I don't know about that, and I can't even fall for it like that is correct, because just 2 days ago I still bought gas and the rate is very, very high. It's very, very high. So we plead our government that they should help us to reduce this price on gas, because that's what we are using. If we are using stove or we are using kerosene, medical told us that it spoiled our height. So, and we don't want that to happen. So we are pleasing our government that they should do something about it.
Governor of Ebonyi State David Umahi today suspended the Commissioner for Lands and Survey Emmanuel Uguru and the Senior Special Assistant on Education Obiano Joe Alo for negligence and dereliction of duty. The suspension, described as a working suspension, is going to be for 1 month. According to a statement by the Secretary to the State Government, the suspension of the government officials is with immediate effect. Experts have urged the federal government to consider alternative ways to generate revenue without further borrowing. Speaking with Impact News crew, a public affairs analyst, Olasun Konde, as he said, there is nothing wrong with borrowing. However, urged the federal government to be transparent about borrowed funds and where they are channeled. Anu Akomolafe has details. To bring you that report in our subsequent bulletin. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has commiserated with the Oyo State Governor and the people of Ibadan land over the demise of Oba Soliu Adetunji. The former president was received by the Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Rahuf Olaniyan, at the Oyo State Governor's office. Anu Akomolafe has details.
Since the demise of late Oba Soliu Adetunji on Sunday, the 2nd of January, eminent personalities from far and near have been paying condolence visits. The latest is that of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who paid a visit to commiserate with the families of the late Olubadan and the Oyo State government. Chief Obasanjo said it is important to sympathize with the people of Oyo State over the demise of the late Seun of Ogbomoso and the late Olubadan of Ibadan, Oba Soliu Adetunji.
Getting up on my feet, I thought I should pay a condolence visit to Oyo State, where within a short period of time, you have lost two of your highest traditional rulers. So I took it upon myself to pay condolence visit to the families of the late Olubadan and the late Seun of Ogbomoso. And I thought that it would be inappropriate for me to come to Ibadan and go to Ogbomoso, and the governor, who in a way is the chief mourner.
Responding, the Oyo State Deputy Governor, Engineer Rauf Olaniyan, commended the former president for the gesture, stressing that Chief Obasanjo is a man of many parts.
You know, at your age, at your level, to come to listen, instead of just following on something. Yeah, very, very grateful to you. Provided you did so much and so many to so many people, and differently to an average Yoruba man who know the culture of Yoruba in a very, very, very deep.
He described the visit as a great honor, stressing that Chief Olusegun Obasanjo means a lot to many people. Anu Akomolafe, IETV News.
We take you back to the earlier reports we brought to you. Experts have urged the federal government to consider alternative ways to generate revenue without further borrowings. Speaking with Impact News Career Public Affairs analyst Olasun Konde, as he said there is nothing wrong with borrowing. He, however, urged the federal government to be transparent about borrowed funds and where they are channeled. Anu Akomolafe has details.
According to the Debt Management Office, Nigeria's public debt was 38 trillion naira as at the end of the third quarter of 2021, with the total debt stock rising by 2.54 trillion naira in 3 months from July to September 2021. As a result of dwindling oil revenue due to slump in the price of oil in the international market, Nigeria's government has had to rely on borrowing to finance its projects and close up budget deficits over the years. This has generated lots of concern as the IMF, World Bank and economists have been sharing divergent views on the issue. President Muhammadu Buhari, while speaking on borrowing, said he will send a specific plan to the National Assembly, stressing that the borrowing will be judiciously utilized and invested in the future growth and prosperity, while the World Bank described Nigeria's debt as vulnerable and costly. Our public affairs analyst Asiwaju Olasunkade Aziz said there is nothing wrong in borrowing as long as the fund will be judiciously utilized.
I may be comfortable. Getting loan is actually not a problem. But three things are very important. How are we channeling the loan? Then what is the percentage of loan we are getting versus revenue we are getting? Then the project, the loan we are getting, is it on recurrent project we are spending it on or on capital projects? If it's on capital, that there's going to be a return on investment over the years, no problem.
He, however, expressed concern about transparency and accountability when it comes to the funds.
I would have actually loved my government, my federal government, to tell me that the stretch of Ibadan to Lagos, I spent X Nigerian naira, equivalent or converted to US dollar. And of course, I sourced that money from China. And this is the amount I sourced there. This is the interest I pay there. Transparency, openness, accountability. This government actually prefer and they are promoting and emplacing anti-corruption crusade. He who go before the law of equity must go with open hand. In other words, for this loan to actually be seen, has been directing and channeling towards the reproductive sector of the economy. There must be proper accountability, precision, accuracy of how much they got, how they spent it, on what, and of what benefit, of what net worth. Is there any exponential return on investment at the end of the day? So that generation yet unborn will not be there with the debacle and burden of debt.
In his own view, another public affairs analyst, Andrew Emeleze, urged the federal government to look inwards and set favorable plan for year 2022.
Yes, the currency will be further devaluated. There will be more inflation. Average cost of living will be so, standard of living, in fact, will be horrible. And is it that same government we are going to say that, yes, there is hope for the workers in 2022? The agenda sets basically that they are trying to pursue, which of course they've told us, yes, it is 2022 January or whatever that they want to start implementing it, does not portray any hope for the Nigerian workers in 2022.
Yet the FG to cut down expenditure and implement reforms that will reduce the cost of governance and ease the fiscal burden. Anu Akomolafe, IETV News.
The Independent National Electoral Commission in Zamfara State has vowed to conduct a free, fair and credible elections in the forthcoming general elections. The new chairman of the commission in the state, Saidu Babura Ahmad, announced this during a courtesy call on the state governor Bello Matawale at the government house. According to him, the commission under his watch will cooperate with all stakeholders for the successful conduct of free and fair elections. On the issue of the ongoing voters' card registration exercise, the commissioner applauded the massive compliance of the people of the state and charged them to maintain the tempo. He attributed the success of the effort of the voters' card sensitization committees in creating awareness on the importance of voters' card in the national development.
The registration was going on very well. We had one compared as of August 18th, that's before my arrival. The number of those registered was favorably comparable with those of other states, northern states in particular. So we are doing very well, and this I come to understand is because of the effort you put in setting up committees who went on radio and other media houses and actually mobilized and sensitized the good people of the Zamfara state to come and register.
So the same committee that we have, we're going to have another committee which people will be involved so that people should be sensitized. And I assure you that all the support needed the government is ready to give to that effect so that people can go and register. Therefore, thank you very much for this visit and assure you that in our part we are ready to give all the necessary support. And our doors are open. Anywhere you have any challenges, you can open doors.
Your Excellency, to the permission of the right.
We'll go on a break now. News Round returns shortly. Do stay with us.
I just want the papers, please.
Sir.
Salary don't enter. Yes, so. And Monday never even reach it. Na salary plenty, oh. No wonder I no gree collect Roger from my hand. Shut up, sir. I'm here to bail my younger brother.
Happen.
With good laws,
Proper funding, training,
and cooperation.
if it happen.
Welcome to Adelayo Academy, an astute citadel of learning dedicated to raising future leaders.
Adelayo Academy, a co-educational school with day and boarding facilities, is committed to instilling virtues needed to make a headway in life.
Our science laboratory is equipped with state-of-the-art facilities that makes learning very easy for students.
Our teachers are highly trained and up to the task of passing down knowledge in the most easy-to-learn ways. As we all know that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, our playground is top class and we take physical health exercise very importantly. Located in a very conducive environment in the heart of Ibadan at Adelayo bus stop, Alagba Wakajaye, Iyano Church.
Adelayo Academy is the best option when it comes to giving your words a quality education.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Mommy, Daddy, I want to attend the Adelayo Academy, please.
Thank you.
This is the school we have been looking for.
Admission form is obtainable at the school premises Adelayo Academy, Wakajaye Yano Church, Ibadan, or Impact Africa Television, IATV, Impact House, Kolapo Ishola Estate, Yano Church Road, General Gas, Akobo, Ibadan. You can also visit the school website on www.adelayoacademy.org or call 0805 947 9449 or 0706 091 0776 or 0810 965 2215. You can also call 0805 527 5583. Adelayo Academy, developing character, competence, and confidence.
Welcome back. You're still watching News Round on Impact Africa Television, IETV. Now the rest of the news. A pro-Igbo group, the Indigbo Royal Heritage, has urged other geopolitical zones in southern Nigeria to support the Southeast to produce Nigeria's president in 2023 in the spirit of equity and justice. The president of the group, Paul Okoye, who made the appeal in Umuahia, Abia State, while delivering a keynote address during the 2023 Igbo Political Conference organized, said it is only natural that the Igbos produce the president in 2023. He argued that other geopolitical zones in the south, especially the southeast, to produce the president. Hence, equity demands that southeast should be supported to take a shot at the presidency come 2023. Okoye, however, cautioned that the dream might not be realized if Indigbo fails to work in unity and form an alliance with other regions in the country. The Ogun State government has declared zero tolerance against juvenile delinquencies, cultism, truancy, alcoholism, among others. The action comes against the backdrop of the series of crimes recently committed in the state by secondary school students in almost all the 3 senatorial districts. It will be recalled that the government closed down some schools last year because of the prevalence of this act, where in some cases students beat up teachers. Speaking at the press conference held in Abeokuta, the Commissioner of Education, Science and Technology, Abayomi Aribagbo, attributed the rotten juvenile delinquencies in the state to poor parenting and some environmental factors, including social media and peer group pressures. Aribagbo expressed the readiness of the state government to meet stakeholders in the education sector to resolve the ill among students. He stated that there will be a series of meetings with security agencies, principals, and head of schools, parents and teachers association and others in order to form effective alliances against vices and juvenile delinquencies in schools.
To commemorate resumption for 2000 and
this student goes around with Android phones.
To take care of their children, so that as we are combating this problem at the school level, we need parents to also be part of it. That led to what we call the Parents Club. The Parents Club is just a forum to bring parents together for them to discuss issues concerning their children in schools. Technology integration into teaching and learning is what has led to what we call the digitized lesson plans that we have now, which will be launched very soon by the governor. We talk about the digitized scheme of work. We talk about the digitized result, that is a dossier. We call it e-dossier, electronic dossier. So students are no longer going to be going on with sheets of paper as report sheets. So they download these report sheets, and that one has actually started, but the governor is going to actually launch this properly. The entire digitalization program of the Ogun State education sector will be launched by His Excellency very soon. We are just waiting for him to give us an appropriate date. So that has led to electronic registration of Beke, basic examination, basic education certificate examination, the same thing for admission into flagship schools, the screening test that we did, and also the same thing for transfer. So when students are to transfer from one school to the other, nobody is now carrying any paper around. So you just go online, collect the forms, and then the allocation and this thing will be done.
A delegation from the Zamfara state government has paid a visit to the Gada village in the Bongodo local government area of Zamfara state to commiserate with the Emirates, families and friends of people who were recently killed during a bandit attack. The delegation, under the leadership of the state deputy speaker Musa Bawa Musa, presented millions of naira and food items to families of the deceased. It will be recalled that bandits had in large numbers attacked the village last week, where they killed the villagers, including their district head, and set ablaze the homes of residents. Presenting the materials to the beneficiaries, Musa assured the people of the state government's commitment towards addressing all banditry activities in the states.
taya yan uwa da uwaye da Allah ta'ala ya kama wannan jarabawa ta rashi da muka samu na wannan ibtila'i na wannan ka daga ka maka Allah ta gari da suka shigo wannan gari suka yi ta'adi.
We are here for condolence visit to the families of the deceased that lost their lives as a result of banditry attack. 25.
So in the news here again are the highlights. Buhari All Progressives Congress governors to decide convention date on Sunday. Southeast People's Democratic Party leaders endorse Iron Pass Iron for president in 2023. Ministry of Defense has spent 1.1 billion naira on the rehabilitation of military barracks. That ends news round on Impact Africa Television ITV. Many thanks for watching. I am Bolabo, Moscow. Good night.